My wife came home sick. Her lover's wife read the medical results. The phone rang while she was vomiting. Not violently, controlled, measured, like someone who had rehearsed being unwell. I stood in the hallway, listening to the soft retching behind the bathroom door, the sound echoing through the house like a lie struggling to stay intact. The call vibrated against the kitchen counter. Unknown number. I didn't answer at first. I watched the door instead. My wife's voice drifted out, weak, fragile. "I think it's food poisoning," she said between breaths earlier. She'd smiled when she said it, a careful smile, the kind you wear when you expect sympathy, not suspicion. The phone rang again. I picked it up. A woman spoke my name like she already knew me. Not angrily, not hysterically, precisely. "I'm sorry," she said. "I think our spouses share more than we do." Silence stretched between us. I didn't ask her what she meant. I didn't need to. My mind was already filling in the negative space she left behind. She inhaled, slow, controlled, like someone who had just finished crying. "I just left the clinic," she continued. "My husband tested positive for something specific, something that doesn't appear by accident." Behind me, the toilet flushed. My wife washed her hands. The timing was perfect. The woman on the phone hesitated, then delivered the final incision. "I found his messages. Your wife's name is in them." I thanked her. I hung up. And when my wife stepped into the hallway, pale, apologetic, eyes searching for concern, I already knew. She wasn't sick. She was exposed. She leaned into me like she needed saving. I let her. Her skin was warm, too warm, feverish, she claimed. I pressed my lips to her forehead and felt nothing stir inside me. No worry, no fear, just calculation. I guided her to the couch, brought her water, medicine. The performance of care is easy when you've stopped caring. She thanked me softly. Her fingers brushed mine. A romantic reflex, muscle memory. Once that touch would have grounded me. Now it felt like a stranger rehearsing intimacy from a script she didn't write. That night she slept facing me, for the first time in weeks, her arm draped over my chest like a claim, or a shield, or an apology she wasn't brave enough to say out loud. I stared at the ceiling and replayed the woman's words, clinic, results, messages. The betrayal wasn't loud. It didn't scream. It whispered, and whispers are dangerous because they get inside you before you can stop them. I remembered the late work dinners, the unexplained weekends away, the new lingerie she wore under clothes she never let me remove. Romance doesn't disappear, it relocates. She had been loving someone else carefully, methodically, like a thief who locks the door behind her. I wanted to confront her. I didn't. Confrontation is for people who need answers. I already had a direction, and I've always trusted my instincts more than my emotions. She coughed softly in her sleep. I listened, and somewhere beneath the betrayal, beneath the rage, beneath the slow burn of loss, something colder took shape. I became observant, not paranoid, not frantic, intentional. I started with her phone, not by taking it, but by watching it. When it lit up, when it stayed dark, when she angled the screen away from me like a reflex she couldn't unlearn. I noted the numbers, the silences, the patterns. Every affair has a rhythm. Once you hear it, you can't unhear it. I requested a routine health screening, framed it as responsibility, as concern. She agreed too quickly. Relief flickered across her face, then vanished when she realized what she'd just consented to. I watched her hands tremble as she filled out the paperwork. Still no confrontation. At night, I replayed moments, conversations that ended too soon, laughs that didn't include me, her sudden interest in privacy disguised as independence. Romance is supposed to feel intimate. Theirs felt secretive. I pulled phone records, not messages, numbers, timestamps, frequency. A name appeared more than any other, a married man. I recognized him from a dinner party months ago. Charming, confident. His wife had stood beside him, elegant and proud. I wondered when she stopped being enough. The test results came back. Clean. For me. I felt a strange gratitude for science, for timing, for evidence that didn't require imagination. I didn't show her the results. Not yet. Instead, I waited. The other woman called again. Her voice was steadier this time. I confronted him, she said. He broke. I closed my eyes. Did he mention my wife? I asked. She exhaled, repeatedly. The puzzle locked into place. 2 marriages collapsing in parallel, one lie connecting them. I thanked her again. This time she didn't apologize. She sounded relieved. I slept well that night. That's how I knew I was ready. I placed the medical report on the table. Between us. No theatrics, no raised voice, just paper. Truth. Flattened. She stared at it like it might bite. Her face drained slowly, color retreating in layers. Shock first, then fear, then something closer to grief, but not for me. For him, I said quietly. She looked up. I held her gaze. You didn't get sick from food. Her mouth opened, closed, her eyes filled, not with tears, but panic. I slid my phone across the table, the call log displayed clearly. Dates, times, a pattern too consistent to deny. She reached for it. I didn't stop her. When she spoke, her voice cracked. It wasn't supposed to. I raised my hand, that small gesture again. Power doesn't need volume. You loved him, I said, not accusing, observing. She nodded, once, like admitting a diagnosis. I leaned back in my chair, feeling strangely detached, like a man watching his own life from behind glass. His wife knows, I added. That's when she broke. Not when she realized she'd lost me, when she realized she'd been exposed. She cried, apologized, reached for explanations like lifelines. I listened politely. I always listen. Then I stood. I told her I needed air. I didn't say where I was going. She already knew. The cafe was quiet, neutral ground. The other woman sat across from me, hands folded, eyes sharp. There was no animosity between us, only recognition. 2 people who had loved honestly, 2 people who had been edited out of their own stories. I placed copies of the reports on the table. She didn't flinch. I suspected, she said. I needed confirmation. I nodded. Together we assembled the truth, messages, timelines, proof layered upon proof, not for revenge, for closure. When her husband arrived, she slid the papers toward him without a word. He read. He wilted. Men like him always do. I watched his world collapse with clinical interest. No satisfaction, just symmetry. Later that night I returned home. My wife was waiting. Hope still flickered in her eyes. Desperate. Fragile. I told her calmly that I'd spoken to his wife, that everything was documented, that nothing she said could undo it. She asked if we could fix this. I looked at her the way you look at a photograph that no longer resembles the memory. No, I said. Not cruelly. Accurately. The house is quieter now. Not empty. Honest. I don't miss her the way I thought I would. I miss the version of myself that believed in permanence, that believed romance was immune to entropy. But beliefs evolve. So do men. She sends messages sometimes, long ones, apologies shaped like confessions. I don't read them. Closure isn't something you negotiate. It arrives when you stop waiting. I learned something through all of this. Betrayal isn't about desire. It's about entitlement. She felt entitled to secrecy, to my trust, to my silence. She lost all 3. I didn't raise my voice, didn't beg, didn't destroy anything but the illusion she depended on, and that was enough. The last time I saw her, she looked at me like I was someone else. She was right. Some illnesses don't weaken you, they clarify you. And when I finally closed the door behind me, it didn't sound like an ending. It sounded like control.